The morning sun was bright, and the sound of students filled the air. It was the first day of a new school year at Ridgewood High School. Everyone was talking, laughing, running through the hallway. But then, the noise started to fade when a new girl walked through the main doors. Her name was Maya Black. She was tall, calm, and carried a quiet confidence that made people stare. Her dark skin glowed under the school lights, and her deep brown eyes looked like they had seen too much for her age. She wore simple clothes, nothing fancy, but the way she walked, slow, silent, and steady, made her look powerful in a strange way. Students whispered as she passed by. "Who's the new girl? I heard she came from the city." She looked kind of mysterious. Maya didn't care. She just wanted to finish school quietly and stay away from trouble. She found her locker, placed her books inside, and looked around. Everything seemed normal until she noticed a group of girls watching her. At the center of that group was Chloe, the most popular girl in school. She was known for her attitude, her money, and her cruel jokes. No one dared to mess with her. Teachers called her smart and confident. But students knew the truth. Chloe ruled through fear. When Chloe saw Maya, something changed in her face. Maybe it was jealousy, maybe just pride, but she didn't like the calm expression Maya had. To Chloe, every new student was a threat to her control. During the first class, Maya sat alone at the back. She listened quietly while others talked. The teacher introduced her to everyone. "This is Maya, she's new here. Let's make her feel welcome." Some smiled politely, but Chloe only smirked. When the class ended, Chloe walked by Maya's desk and bumped her shoulder hard. Maya's books fell to the floor. Everyone went silent. Maya looked up, her eyes calm but sharp. "It's okay," she said softly, picking up her books. Chloe laughed. "Watch where you walk next time." The room filled with nervous giggles. Maya didn't reply. She just looked at Chloe for a moment, not angry, not scared, just quiet. That silence made Chloe uncomfortable. Later in the cafeteria, Maya sat alone again. Chloe and her group sat across the room, whispering and laughing. Every few minutes, they looked at Maya and giggled louder. But Maya kept her head down, eating her lunch slowly. Then, as she was leaving, someone accidentally spilled juice on her tray. The crowd laughed. Maya sighed and walked away without saying a word. That night, she sat in her small bedroom, staring at an old photo on her desk, a picture of her with her father. He was tall, wearing a black suit, surrounded by men who looked dangerous. In the photo, he smiled, but his eyes looked cold. Maya touched the photo and whispered, "You promised I could have a normal life." Her phone buzzed. A message appeared on the screen. "We're watching." "You okay, princess?" Her face turned pale. She quickly deleted the message. She didn't want anyone from her old life to get involved. The next morning, as she walked to school, a black car was parked near the corner. The windows were dark. The driver, wearing sunglasses, watched her quietly. When she entered the school gates, the car slowly drove away. No one noticed inside. Chloe was already waiting, standing near the lockers. "Well, if it isn't the new girl again," Chloe said loudly. "Ready for another day of being invisible?" Maya smiled softly. "I'm fine, thank you." That made Chloe even angrier. She leaned close and whispered, "You think you're better than me? You'll learn your place soon." Maya looked straight into her eyes. "Maybe," she said quietly, "but maybe you'll learn yours first." Chloe froze for a second, then laughed to hide her shock. The hallway buzzed again, but something had changed. Everyone could feel the tension. No one knew that behind Maya's calm smile, there was a world of danger waiting, a world that Chloe would soon regret waking up. Outside, the same black car stopped again, engine running. The driver made a call. "She's in. Tell the boss the princess is safe." The voice on the other end replied coldly, "Good. No one touches her. If they do, you know what to do." Asterisk. The next few days at Ridgewood High felt heavier. The air around Maya started to change. She walked quietly to class every morning, trying to stay invisible. But Chloe wouldn't let that happen. Chloe had a new plan, to make the new girl's life miserable. To her, Maya's calm attitude felt like a challenge. She wanted to break that silence, to see fear in Maya's eyes. It started small. Someone moved Maya's chair before class. Someone hit her notebook. Her locker was filled with paper balls and rude words written in red marker. "Go back where you came from." Maya said nothing. She cleaned her locker, sat back down, and continued her work. Her silence made Chloe even angrier. During lunch, Chloe and her friends watched Maya eat alone. "Look at her," Chloe whispered. "She thinks she's too good for us." One of the girls giggled. "Maybe she's scared." "No," Chloe said coldly. "She's pretending. But I'll make her show her real face." That evening, Chloe posted a picture online, a photo of Maya sitting alone in the cafeteria. The caption read, "Queen of the Loners." By the next morning, everyone had seen it. People pointed and laughed. Maya heard the whispers, but she stayed quiet. When she opened her locker, another note fell out. It said, "Smile for the camera, new girl." Maya looked around. Several students were holding their phones, pretending to text, but clearly watching her. She sighed and walked to class. Inside, the teacher was writing on the board. Chloe sat 2 rows behind, smirking. When the teacher turned away, Chloe threw a small paper ball that hit Maya's back. Maya didn't move. "Oops," Chloe said softly, loud enough for her friends to laugh. At that moment, Maya remembered her father's words. Never start the fight, but always finish it. But this wasn't her world anymore. She wanted peace, not revenge. After school, Maya sat on a bench near the playground thinking. Her phone buzzed again. "Unknown number. They're bothering you again. Should we handle it?" Her heart skipped a beat. She typed fast, "No, stay away." Then she turned off her phone. What Maya didn't see was the black car parked across the street. The same man from before sat inside, watching her every move. He made a quick call. She said no. But orders are clear. We stay close. The next day, things got worse. Chloe planned something big. She told her friends to meet near the lockers during lunch. "We'll film a reaction," she said with a grin, as Maya walked by. Chloe pretended to trip and spilled juice all over Maya's shirt. The crowd laughed instantly. Phones came up. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," Chloe said in fake shock. "Didn't mean to mess up your outfit." Maya looked at her eyes steady, calm, not a single tear. "It's fine," she said softly, and walked away. That simple reaction made Chloe furious. She slammed her drink on the table. Why doesn't she fight back? One of her friends whispered, "Maybe she's scared of you." Chloe smiled cruelly. "Then I'll give her a real reason to be scared." That evening, she uploaded a video titled, "Maya the Mute, the Girl Who Never Fights Back." It showed short clips of Maya eating alone, walking quietly, getting bullied. The comments were full of laughing emojis. The video spread fast. Everyone at school had seen it the next morning. Some felt bad, but no one stood up for Maya. Maya watched the video in silence. Her hands trembled, not with fear, but with something deeper. She opened her drawer, took out an old necklace, a gold chain with a small black diamond in the center. It was her father's gift. On the back, one word was engraved: protected. She held it tightly, whispering, "I told you to stay out of my life, Dad." Outside her window, headlights flashed for a second. The same black SUV parked under a tree. A man's voice spoke softly through a phone. "They're crossing the line. Should we move in?" The reply came in a deep, cold tone. "Not yet. Let's see how far they go." And somewhere in the dark, the game was just beginning. The morning air was heavy with silence. It felt like the calm before a storm. Maya walked into school with her head down, pretending everything was fine. But inside, her heart was tired. The whispers, the laughter, the cruel messages, it all felt endless. She passed through the hallways where students stared, some curious, some guilty. Chloe stood near her locker with her usual smile, the kind that hid poison behind it. "Well, it isn't our silent queen," Chloe said loudly. "Did you like the video?" You're famous now. Laughter echoed through the hall. Maya ignored her and walked away. She had learned that silence was stronger than words. But Chloe wasn't done. That day, rumors spread like fire. Someone said Maya had a secret record. Others said she was dangerous. Chloe enjoyed every moment of it. She wanted control. She wanted power. After school, Maya stayed behind to return a library book. The campus was almost empty, and the sun was setting. The orange light touched the walls, making long shadows stretch across the ground. When Maya stepped outside, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned. Chloe and her 3 friends were there. "Well, look who's still here," Chloe said with a fake smile. "We just wanted to talk." Maya stopped walking. "What do you want, Chloe?" "Oh, nothing much," Chloe said, circling her slowly. "Just to know who you really are. You act like you're so calm, but nobody's that calm unless they're hiding something." Maya sighed. "You don't need to know anything about me." That answer only made Chloe angrier. Wrong answer. Before Maya could move, Chloe pushed her shoulder hard. Maya stumbled back but didn't fight. One of Chloe's friends started recording on her phone. "This is going to get a lot of views," she whispered. Chloe laughed. "Say something, Maya. Or do you only talk to yourself?" Maya looked down, her voice quiet but steady. "You're making a mistake." "Oh, really?" Chloe smirked. "And what are you going to do about it?" The next moment, Chloe slapped her across the face. The sound echoed in the empty parking lot. Maya fell to her knees, her hands trembling. For the first time, Chloe felt something strange. Not victory, but fear. Maya didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just looked up slowly, her eyes darker than before. Full of a quiet warning. "You shouldn't have done that," Maya whispered. Before anyone could react, a black SUV turned the corner. The headlights cut through the dusk like sharp knives. The car stopped near them, engine still running. 3 men in black suits stepped out. They didn't say a word. Their presence was cold and serious. Chloe froze. Her friends stopped recording. One man spoke into an earpiece, his voice calm. "Target located. She's hurt." The tallest man looked directly at Maya. "Miss Black, are you all right?" Maya's eyes widened. "No, you're not supposed to be here." He bowed his head slightly. "Your father gave us orders." "You were attacked." Chloe took a step back. "What is this? Who are you people?" No one answered. The man pointed at Chloe and her friends. "Leave, now." The girls didn't move. Fear locked their bodies. Then another man opened the car door and spoke softly. "Miss, your father is waiting. Tell him I don't want this life anymore." The man looked at her kindly but firmly. "It's not your choice, miss. Once blood is spilled, he decides." Chloe whispered to her friends, "Oh my God. What is happening?" The man turned his cold eyes toward her. "You'll find out soon." Maya stood up slowly, a bruise forming on her cheek. She looked at Chloe one last time. "You should pray my father never hears your name." Then she got into the SUV. The doors closed. The car drove off into the night. Chloe stood frozen, heart pounding. Her hands shook as she whispered her father. One of her friends asked, terrified, "Who is he?" Chloe didn't answer. She just watched the red taillights disappear into the dark street. A chill crawling down her spine. For the first time, the fearless bully felt fear. Real fear. Because deep down, she knew. Whatever Maya's father was, he wasn't a man anyone should ever cross. Asterisk, the news spread through Ridgewood High like a storm. By morning, everyone knew something strange had happened after school. Students whispered in corners, teachers looked nervous, and the principal avoided questions. Chloe sat quietly in class, not saying a word for once. Her hands still trembled. She hadn't slept all night. The image of the black SUV, the men in suits, the cold look in Maya's eyes. It played again and again in her mind. Her friends tried to talk to her. "Chloe, what happened yesterday?" One whispered. Chloe only said, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." No one saw Maya at school that day. Her desk was empty, her locker locked. The silence around her absence was louder than noise. That night, Maya sat in a large, dimly lit office. Heavy curtains covered the windows. A man stood by the glass, his back to her, smoking quietly. He was tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in a black suit. His voice was deep and calm when he spoke. "You said you wanted a normal life, Maya." She nodded. "Yes. I wanted to go to school, make friends, live like other girls." His face was strong, but his eyes, dark, sharp, and dangerous, told a different story. "I gave you that chance," he said softly. "But the world doesn't leave us alone, does it?" This was Marcus Black, Maya's father, once known as the Ghost King in the criminal world. For years, police, gangs, and politicians feared his name. No one ever saw him angry and lived to tell the story. "I told your men to stay away," Maya said, her voice shaking slightly. "You promised not to interfere." Marcus walked closer, placing his hand on her shoulder. "They touched you," he said in a low voice. "That means the promise is broken." Maya looked down. "It was just a stupid fight. I don't want anyone to get hurt because of me." Her father smiled sadly. "My dear, you are my only weakness. And when someone hurts you, they hurt me." He walked to his desk and picked up a file. Inside were photos, Chloe and her friends, their homes, their parents, their school records. "I know everything about them," he said. "Where they live, what they love, what they fear," Maya gasped. "Dad, no. Please don't do this." Marcus sighed. "You still don't understand who I am, do you?" She looked into his eyes. "I do. That's why I left." For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Marcus said quietly, "You can't run from blood, Maya, even if you hate it." Meanwhile, at Ridgewood High, Chloe's father, a businessman named Mr. Harris, received a strange phone call. "Mr. Harris," the voice said, calm and cold. "You have a daughter named Chloe." "Yes." "Who is this?" "Tell her to stay away from Maya Black." Before he could reply, the line went dead. Mr. Harris looked pale. He searched the name online. Within minutes, he found an old article. Marcus Black, the untouchable crime lord, missing for 10 years. He froze. The photo was the same man from yesterday, the one from the SUV. That night, Mr. Harris locked every door in his house. Chloe saw the fear in his eyes. "Dad, what's wrong?" she asked. He turned to her slowly. "You made a mistake, Chloe. A big one." Back in the mansion, Maya stood near the window, staring at the dark city outside. "I just want to be normal," she whispered. "I don't want to live in fear." Marcus walked behind her. "You don't live in fear, my child," he said. "Others do." Outside, men stood guarding the gates. Black cars lined the driveway. The house was silent, but filled with power. Marcus placed his hand on her head gently. "Rest tonight. Tomorrow, things will change." Maya looked at him, her voice trembling. "What are you going to do?" He smiled faintly. "Just remind the world who I am." In that moment, Maya realized something terrible. The quiet life she wanted was gone. The shadow of her father's world had returned. And soon, the people who hurt her would learn the true meaning of fear. The next morning, the whole town felt strange. People couldn't explain it, but something in the air had changed. Heavy, cold, like a warning that danger was near. At Ridgewood High, students whispered about Maya's sudden disappearance. Some said she moved away. Others said the men from the black SUV had kidnapped her. Chloe sat at her desk, pale and silent. Every sound made her jump. Every knock on the door made her heart race. She tried to act normal, but the fear wouldn't go away. Her friends asked questions. "Are you okay, Chloe?" She forced a laugh. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? But deep down, she knew something was coming. That night, Chloe's father, Mr. Harris, sat in his home office reading reports. His phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "You didn't protect your daughter," he frowned. "What is this? Who are you?" He typed, "No reply." Then a few seconds later, another message appeared. "You have 24 hours to teach her respect." He froze. The phone slipped from his hand. His heart raced. He looked out the window. A black car was parked across the street. The next day, Chloe came home from school to find her father pacing the living room. "Dad, what's wrong?" He looked up, eyes wide with panic. "Chloe, tell me everything." "Who is Maya Black?" Chloe stammered. "She's just a girl from school. I teased her a little, but it was nothing serious." Mr. Harris slammed his hand on the table. "You don't understand. Her father is Marcus Black." Chloe's face went blank. "Who?" He whispered, "The man no one dares to cross." She laughed nervously. "Dad, that's just some rumor." "Rumor?" He snapped. "Do you think a rumor sends men in black suits to watch our house?" Chloe turned pale. "They're watching us?" Mr. Harris pulled the curtains aside. Outside, across the street, the same black SUV was parked again, windows tinted, engine running. Meanwhile, in a quiet mansion outside town, Marcus sat in his office. "Is everything ready?" he asked. A man in a suit nodded. "Yes, sir." Her father received the first warning. "The girl is shaken." Marcus leaned back in his chair. "Good, that's enough for now. We don't hurt children." Maya stood by the door, listening. "You're scaring them," she said softly. He looked at her, calm but firm. "Fear is the best teacher." She stepped closer. "You said you wanted me to have a normal life." "This isn't normal," Marcus sighed. "Normal people forget their place too easily. They hurt you because they thought you were weak." "I'm not weak," Maya said, her voice strong now. "But I don't want them destroyed because of me." He stood up, his tall frame filling the room. "Destroyed?" he said quietly. "No, I'll just remind them who you are." That evening, Chloe received a delivery at her door, a small black box with her name on it. Her father opened it carefully. Inside was a single gold bullet. No note, no message. Just silence. Mr. Harris's face turned white. He whispered, "He's sending a warning." Chloe covered her mouth, trembling. "Dad, what do we do?" He whispered, "Pray that he forgives us." Later that night, Maya found her father sitting alone in the dark. "Is it done?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "They will never touch you again." Maya sat across from him. "You think fear will make me safe? But it only makes me lonely." Marcus looked at her gently. "You were born into my shadow, Maya. You can't escape it." Tears filled her eyes. "Maybe not. But I can still choose who I become." Marcus stood and walked toward the window, staring into the night. "You're your mother's daughter," he said quietly. "Kind heart, stubborn soul." He turned back with a faint smile. "Don't worry. No one will hurt you now. Tomorrow, they'll learn their lesson." The next morning, Ridgewood High woke up to chaos. The video of Maya being bullied, gone from every phone, every website, deleted. Chloe's car tires slashed. Her family's company website hacked. The homepage now showed only one sentence: "The Black family protects its own." Everyone at school was silent that day. No one dared to say Maya's name out loud, and far away in the backseat of a black SUV, Marcus's Black smiled faintly. "Message delivered," he said. Asterisk, the sun rose slowly over Ridgewood, painting the sky in soft orange light. But the town didn't feel warm that morning. It felt cold, silent, as if everyone was afraid to breathe too loudly at Ridgewood High. Students whispered in the hallways, moving quietly like shadows. The laughter and gossip that once filled the building had vanished. Everyone had heard the news. Chloe's family company had shut down for security reasons. Their phones hacked, their cars vandalized. No one knew who did it. No one dared to ask, and Maya Black had returned to school. She walked through the gates with her head high, wearing a calm smile. Her bruise had healed. But her eyes carried something deeper, the kind of strength that comes after pain. Teachers greeted her softly. Some students avoided her eyes. Others whispered apologies she didn't answer. As she entered the classroom, everyone went silent. Even Chloe, sitting at the back, froze. Maya placed her books on the desk, looked up, and said gently, "Good morning." Her voice was calm, too calm, and it filled the whole room. At lunch, Maya sat under the old oak tree behind the school. It was quiet, peaceful, the same place where she used to eat alone. But this time, it felt different. The wind was soft, and for the first time in weeks, she felt safe. Then she heard footsteps. Chloe stood a few feet away, eyes red and tired. She looked nothing like the proud bully from before. Her voice shook as she spoke. Maya, ... I'm sorry. Maya looked up, her expression unreadable. For what? Chloe swallowed hard. For everything. The jokes. The video. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know your father, Maya interrupted softly. And if you did, would that have stopped you? Chloe looked down, ashamed. Maybe, I don't know. Maya nodded slowly. Then it's not fear you need. It's change. Tears filled Chloe's eyes. I never wanted things to go this far. My dad, he's scared now. Everyone's scared. Maya stood up, her tone calm but sharp. Good. Maybe fear will remind people that pain has a price. Chloe took a deep breath. He's not going to hurt us, is he? Maya turned her gaze toward the distant road, where a black SUV was parked under the trees. He's done, she said quietly. You're safe. But don't test that safety again. That evening, Maya returned home. The mansion was quiet. Her father sat in his study, a drink in his hand. Eyes tired but calm. You went back to school, Marcus said softly. Yes, Maya replied. And I talked to her, raised an eyebrow. To the girl? Maya nodded. She apologized. Marcus leaned back in his chair. You forgave her? Maya smiled faintly. I didn't need to. I just told her to learn. Her father studied her face for a moment. You sound like your mother, he said quietly. She smiled. That's a good thing, right? He chuckled. She was strong. Stronger than me. Ah. Maya walked closer. You don't have to protect me with fear, Dad. You can protect me with peace. Marcus looked away. Peace is expensive in my world. Then maybe, Maya said softly. It's time to leave your world behind. He looked at her, silent. For the first time in years, Marcus Black, the man who ruled through fear, looked uncertain that night. Maya stood by her window, watching the city lights. Her phone buzzed. A message appeared. All threats handled. Situation stable, she typed back. Stand down. No more shadows. Then she turned off her phone and smiled. For the first time, she felt free. The next morning, Maya sat on the same bench outside school. The air felt lighter. The students walked past her, whispering respectfully now. Even Chloe smiled nervously and waved from afar. Maya didn't wave back. She just looked at the sky and whispered, maybe peace isn't about silence. It's about knowing when not to fight. Soft breeze passed, carrying her words away. In the distance, the black SUV drove away slowly. No guards, no eyes watching. For once the world felt normal again. Maya closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and smiled not as a victim, not as a crime boss's daughter, but as a girl who survived her own storm.